Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. She sent the text at 7:42 p.m. Don't come home tonight. No explanation. No emoji. No follow-up. Just that one sentence sitting on my phone like a warning sign. At first, I assumed it was about space. We'd had a small argument that morning, nothing explosive. She said I was distracted lately. I said she barely talked to me anymore. Same loop we'd been stuck in for months. So I stared at the message for a moment, sighed and put the phone down. But something about it didn't sit right. She didn't say we need space. She didn't say I need time. She said don't come home. That wasn't a request. It was an instruction. And it wasn't like her. I was still at work when the thought hit me. The smart lock. A year earlier she had insisted we upgrade the house. Smart lights, smart thermostat, smart door lock. She liked the convenience. I liked the security. We both had access to the app. Or at least, I thought we did. Out of curiosity more than suspicion, I opened it. The log loaded slowly. Then my stomach tightened. 6:11 p.m., front door unlocked. 6:14 p.m., front door locked. 6:47 p.m., front door unlocked. 6:50 p.m., front door locked. That wasn't unusual on its own. But then I checked the user list. Only 2 profiles should have been there. Mine and hers. There was a third. A temporary access code. Created 3 days earlier. Active between 6 p.m. and midnight. My name wasn't on that code. I sat back in my chair and stared at the screen. This is the moment people talk about later. The moment where everything shifts. Where you feel anger, heartbreak, betrayal all at once. But that's not what I felt. I felt calm. Too calm. Because suddenly a lot of things made sense. The late nights. The sudden concern about privacy. The way she'd angle her phone away when texting. The way she stopped asking when I'd be home. I didn't call her. I didn't text back. I waited. At 8:03 p.m. the lock logged another entry. Unlocked. At 8:06 locked. Same temporary code. I took screenshots. Every entry. Every timestamp. Every setting. Then I closed the app and sat there letting the truth settle. This wasn't a mistake. This was planned. Around 9 p.m. she finally texted again. Let's talk tomorrow. I just need tonight. I replied with one word. Okay. She probably thought she'd won something with that. Control. Time. Space. What she didn't know was that the moment she told me not to come home, she lost the narrative. I didn't go to a friend's place. I didn't drink. I didn't spiral. I drove. Not home. Just around. Letting the night air clear my head. Around 10:30 p.m., curiosity got the better of me. I opened the app again. 10:12 p.m., front door unlocked. 10:18 p.m., locked. Same code. Still active. I laughed then. Not loudly. Just a quiet, bitter breath through my nose. She'd been so careful with words lately. So vague. So emotionally distant. But technology doesn't lie. I went back to the earliest log available. The first time that code was used was last Friday. The night she said she was working late. The night she came home smelling like a different soap. I remembered asking her about it. She'd smiled and said, "You're imagining things." That's when I realized something important. This wasn't just betrayal. It was disrespect layered on top of it. She didn't just cheat. She assumed I was too oblivious to notice. Too busy. Too trusting. Too weak. Around midnight, the temporary code was used one last time. Then nothing. At 12:01 a.m. it expired. I took one final screenshot and closed the app. I finally slept. Not well, but enough. The next morning she called me. Her voice was soft. Careful. Almost rehearsed. "Hey," she said. "Can we talk?" "Sure," I replied. "About what?" There was a pause. "About us." Of course. I agreed to meet her at home later that evening. She suggested dinner. I declined. "I'll just come by," I said. "We can talk." She sounded relieved. Okay. When I walked into the house that evening, it looked the same. Smelled the same. Felt smaller. She sat at the kitchen counter, hands folded, expression serious. "I've been thinking," she began. "I feel like we've been disconnected." I nodded. "We have." She went on about stress. About work. About feeling misunderstood. About needing space to think. She never mentioned the text. She never mentioned last night. Finally, she said the line she'd probably practiced all day. "I don't know if this marriage is working anymore." I looked at her and waited. She expected a reaction. Anger. Panic. Pleading. Instead, I asked, "Who was here last night?" Her face barely changed, but her eyes did. I don't know what you mean. I took out my phone and placed it on the counter between us. Open the app. Turn the screen toward her. Temporary access code, I said calmly. Active from 6 to midnight. Used multiple times. Not by me. Silence filled the kitchen. Her mouth opened. Closed. She tried to laugh. That doesn't prove anything. I swiped. Timestamps. Dates. Weeks worth. That's when she got angry. Not guilty. Not apologetic. Angry. You invaded my privacy, she snapped. I smiled then. Not because it was funny, but because it was over. No, I said. You invited me into the truth the moment you told me not to come home. She stood up, pacing, talking fast now. Saying it wasn't what it looked like. Saying I was jumping to conclusions. Saying I was controlling. I listened quietly. Then I said, you should probably change the locks. She froze. What? I'm not coming back, I continued. Not tonight. Not ever. Her face drained of color. You're serious? I nodded. Completely. I walked out of the house with nothing but my phone and my keys. Behind me she was still talking. For the first time I didn't listen.